Hey crafters, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to make a summer themed infinity card with lots of Lawn Fawn products. Hope you enjoy! So to start this card, I'm using a piece of paper that's 6 by 3 inches, and I'm folding it in half lengthwise and then folding and scoring the two pieces in. Now the middle fold is not that important, it's the outside folds that are, and you get kind of a C shape here. And I'm going to repeat that 3 more times so that I have 4 pieces of paper that are C-shaped. I'm using some recycled card paper for this. This is craft paper and it's quite thick, and it's best to use a sturdier paper when doing a Neverending card. So now I'm just going to line up 2 of the pieces of paper and use some Post-it note tape to adhere them together temporarily. And I'm using some PVA glue in the corners. And because this is a heavier weight card, glue works best. You could always use double-sided tape if you prefer. Now I'm just going to line up the 2 other pieces of paper horizontally. And the important thing is that the edges are nice and straight. So I'm just going to adjust those and then let it dry. Now that the glue has set, I'm just going to carefully open it up and score the fold lines. And I'll do this a few times until the affinity card moves smoothly. And I wanted to give this card a summer theme, so using that craft paper or the recycled paper gives it a kind of a sandy vibe, and you'll see later on when I add on the images, it works really well. I'm going to use some of the Hello Sunshine paper from Lawn Fawn, and I'll start with this beautiful piece of yellow that says Hello Sunshine on it, and I'm going to glue those panels on the front. Now the larger pieces are 2 3/4 inches square, and you'll need 6 of these all together. Now these smaller rectangles are 2 3/4 inches by 1 1/4 inches, and altogether you'll need 12 of these. And it's a good idea to see the orientation of them if you're using paper like this with words or design, so that you cut the rectangles facing the right way. Now I'm just going to open up to the next part of the card, and I'm going to use 2 more of the squares that are 2 3/4 inches. And this will have a kind of a watery theme on it, so I used the nice blue pattern. And on the side, I cut the rectangles the other way with the pattern horizontally so that it works well. And these are the 2 3/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch rectangles. So if you're using pattern paper, just be mindful of which direction your rectangles are facing. So now I'm just going to open up to the next part of the card. And here we'll need 2 more of those large squares. And again, I'm going to use that beautiful blue pattern paper. And then this part of the card has some of the large rectangles as well as these tiny rectangles that you'll see in a moment in the corner. And you can use the score lines to help you decide where the different shapes go. So I'm going to use 2 of those rectangles here, and you'll see the 4 corners have the tiny little rectangles in them. They're almost square. They're 1 1/4 inches by 1 3 inches, and altogether you'll need 8 of those, 4 on this part of the card and 4 on the back. So I'm using the zigzag here. You can always line up the zigzag if you like, or flip it around. It depends what effect you'd like on your card. And then once I'm happy with the pattern there, I'll turn to the back of the card. And on the back of the card, we just need the last 2 large rectangles and then the last 4 of the small rectangles. So these 2 rectangles are 1 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and the other 4 shapes are 1 1/4 inches by 1.3 inches. And you can see how using the pattern paper really brings this card to life. It makes a huge difference. Now, once I'm happy with my backing paper, I'm just going to open my card several times until it's moving fluidly. It's a good idea, especially if you're using thick card, to do this several times before you send it to your recipient. Just gorgeous. So now for my images, I'm going to use several different Lawn Fawn stamp sets. These images are from the Scooting By stamp set, and I thought it would be fun to have them playing with the beach ball from On the Beach. And I'll draw in the sand with my Copics afterwards. Now some of the critters will be chilling on the beach instead. So using the stamp set On the Beach, I'm going to stamp the critter first, and then I'm going to mask him. And I just used a Post-it note paper for this. It's the kind that is full stick. And then I cut it out. And then I'll stamp on the beach towel and the umbrella. And when I remove the mask, you can see I've got this beautiful image with a little bit of dimension. And I'll do the same with my other critter. So I'm going to stamp him, but I'll have him looking the opposite way. And then mask him, put down the towel, and then the umbrella. And I just love how these stamps work so well, creating a little scene, which is perfect for a summer birthday card. And when I remove the mask, you can see the 2 critters are just chilling on the beach there. Now for the sentiment on the card, I'm going to have a few different panels. So I'll start with this one, which has some sentiments from the On the Beach stamp set. So It's Your Birthday, Seize a Day. And the sun is from All the Clouds. And on the other sentiment panel, I'm going to use Have a Relaxing Birthday. And this is also from On the Beach. And then a few different shells. I'm also going to use these shells for all the tiny pieces that you'll see at the end there. Now I'm not going to show all my coloring here because otherwise the video would be too long, but I will give you some hints if you're using Copics. So I stuck with the very light colors for the shells, and I found that if I used my sand color, this is the E00, over top of the shells that I'd already colored, it gave them a really nice effect. And I did the same thing with the water, which you'll see on the side here. So I used a very light color. This one is the B02 to draw my water. Now using the very light pastel colors on the shells gives them more of a translucent and iridescent look, which I thought was very authentic. And I also used a darker brown. This one is the E37 to draw some dots in the sand, just to give it a bit of texture. And then I colored all the shells and some other details with the unicorn stickles. And I did add some little effects on the water as well, which you'll see shortly. So here are the colored panels. So these are the tiny pieces. You'll need 8 of those altogether. And these are the medium-sized pieces. I used 4, but you could always use more if you prefer. And then these are the large square pieces, which I have 6 altogether. Now that I've got everything colored, the easy bit is just putting them in place. So on the front of the card, I'm going to have the 2 sunbathing critters and then add these 2 sentiments. Those sentiments are also from all the clouds. And I used the unicorn stickles on the umbrellas as well as on the sunshines. So it gives a really nice sparkly look on the front of the card. Now the next part of the card, I'm going to have the 2 main sentiments. And like I said, I added a little bit of wave detailing with the unicorn stickles as well. So it really catches the light. And I'll leave the side panels plain because of that fancy paper. And then on the inside here, I'll have the 2 critters playing volleyball. And in the 4 corners, I'll have some seashells. And all the seashells are covered in that unicorn stickles, so they really catch the light as well. You could add 2 more panels here if you prefer, but I wanted to keep them blank to show off that zigzag paper. And then on the back, I'll have my to and from. Now these are from the Say What Christmas Critters stamp set. And then the 4 seashell panels will go on the corners there. And once all the panels are glued in place, I'm going to just move the card and make sure it moves smoothly. And I'll just fix that from the little love heart. That bit's crooked, but that's the great thing about using glue. You can still wiggle them around until they're in the right place. And now you can see the finished card with all the sparkle. And you can see it's just a gorgeous card, which is worth all that extra effort. It also stands up so the recipient can display it like that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video inspiring. Be sure to subscribe so that you're notified whenever I post a new video. Have a crafty day!